What if the most convincing but a split second you can't control? On a red carpet designed for perfection, one unscripted gesture made the internet pause, and in that pause, something quietly human slipped through. Red carpets are built on repetition, the same pauses, the same angles, the same carefully rehearsed warmth. Audiences have learned to watch without believing. That is why this particular moment stood apart. When Yang Meimei leaned in and kissed too long on the cheek, it was not the act itself that disrupted expectations. It was the sudden loss of control that followed. His expression shifted before he could recover it. Color rose where composure usually lives. This interruption mattered because it felt accidental. It did not ask for interpretation. It invited recognition. In a space designed for performance, something unpolished appeared. Viewers were not witnessing romance as a narrative device, but a human response unfolding in real time. That brief second broke the pattern because it replaced intention with instinct, and instinct once seen is difficult to dismiss. Gestures can be chosen, reactions rarely are. The public display still leaves room for physical response. Permission carries a different weight. The reaction became the story because it bypassed awareness. It happened before image management, before calculation, before the mind could intervene. This distinction is crucial in modern celebrity culture. Audiences are no longer persuaded by declarations or symbols alone. They look for fractures in the surface, tiny moments where emotion escapes control. A blush, a pause, a softened gaze. These are not signs designed to convince, but signs that convince precisely because they are not designed. In this case, the reaction reframed the entire moment. It transformed a simple act into evidence of vulnerability. The focus shifted away from what was done to what was felt. And feeling, when unguarded, has a quiet authority that performance can never replicate. What sustains belief is not one moment, but the way moments align over time. Away from the spotlight, patterns quietly repeat. The absence of exaggerated gestures becomes its own language. There is a steadiness in how presence is shared, unforced proximity, natural pacing, comfort without display. These details rarely demand attention, yet they linger. Consistency without noise is difficult to fabricate. It requires patience rather than spectacle. When interactions feel similar, regardless of setting, audiences begin to sense continuity rather than coincidence. This is where perception shifts. Chemistry stops feeling situational and starts feeling structural. Importantly, nothing here appears rushed. There's no visible effort to clarify, defend, or capitalize. The lack of urgency communicates confidence. In a culture that rewards constant signaling, restraint reads as sincerity. Viewers do not feel persuaded. They feel permitted to observe. And observation, when uninterrupted, often leads to trust. Difference is often framed as tension. Age, experience, temperament, these elements are usually discussed as obstacles to overcome. Yet balance tells a different story. When two individuals meet without hierarchy, contrast becomes complementary. One offers steadiness, the other openness. Neither dominates the space. What viewers respond to here is equilibrium. Maturity does not overshadow vitality. Vitality does not disrupt calm. The dynamic feels cooperative rather than competitive. This reframing matters because it challenges familiar narratives. Instead of conflict, there is alignment. Instead of imbalance, mutual adjustment. Such balance feels earned rather than declared. It emerges through shared rhythm, not explanation. Audiences recognize this because it mirrors healthy relationships beyond the screen. The connection does not rely on difference to create drama. It allows difference to create depth. and depth once felt makes speculation unnecessary. Silence is often mistaken for emptiness. In reality, it can signal intention. Choosing not to display every step of a personal journey suggests care rather than concealment. Privacy in this context is not avoidance, it is preservation. In an environment that rewards constant visibility, restraint becomes meaningful. When moments are shared sparingly, they feel deliberate rather than performative. Viewers sense that what remains unseen is not missing, but protected. This perception fosters respect. The absence of spectacle also removes pressure. Without the need to reassure or impress, actions can remain authentic. Audiences are invited to witness fragments, not the whole story. Paradoxically, this partial view strengthens belief. It implies continuity beyond the camera. What is not displayed feels ongoing, lived in, real. And that quiet confidence resonates far more deeply than any public declaration ever could. The response online was not driven by shock, but by recognition. Many viewers have grown cautious, even skeptical, of highly curated intimacy. When something genuine surfaces, it disrupts that caution gently, not forcefully. People lean in because they sense honesty, not because they are urged to react. What spread was not outrage or spectacle, but reflection. Comments carried warmth rather than division. The moment invited projection. Memories of times when emotions surfaced unexpectedly, when feelings revealed themselves without rehearsal. That familiarity created connection. In a digital space dominated by amplification, this quiet response stood out. It reminded audiences that authenticity still travels, even without noise. The internet leaned in because it recognized something human in a highly managed environment. And when humanity appears unannounced, people pause, not to judge, but to feel. This story isn't asking you to believe a label. It's inviting you to notice a moment and trust what moments reveal when no one's trying to sell them. Sometimes the loudest confirmation is a quiet blush. If you enjoyed this deeper look, subscribe to Update X24H for thoughtful stories that go beyond headlines. Thank you for watching, and if this moment made you pause, share your thoughts below. Until next time, stay curious and keep noticing the details.